Have you ever tried to scrape tables from a web page and found it really hard to scrape them? In this video, I'll show you how to perform a quick, efficient scraping of these table elements without much effort using Python and Pandas library. If all you wish is to get some tables from a web page and nothing else, you don't really need to set up a whole web scraper in Python. In Python, we can simply use a library called Pandas to do it. The Pandas has a function called pandas.read_html, and this function uses some web scraping libraries such as BeautifulSoup to return a list containing all the tables in a page as data frames. All you need to do is to pass the URL of a page which has a table on it as an argument to this pandas.read_html function, and the rest will be taken care by the Pandas library itself. So as you can see, I'm on this Wikipedia page. It's a random Wikipedia page that I chose for this video because it has these tables in it. If I scroll down and come here, you can see we have this table, and this is the table that I'm interested in, and this is what I want to scrape from this website. So let's see how we can achieve that. If I come here, I have opened up a new Jupyter notebook. I'm using Jupyter notebook because I can display data frames in much more organized way. It's not necessary, but if you want to, you can also use it. So right here, I'm importing pandas as PD. So if it's not installed, first you need to install this library. So you can simply do pip install pandas and it will be installed. You also need LXML. So go ahead and install both of these libraries and come back here. Then all that we need to do is we need to define a variable to store all the data frames. So I'll say DFS equals to, then call to the pd.read_html function, and we need to pass in the URL to this function. So I'll grab the URL, copy it, come here and paste it inside these quotes. So now I have set up the read_html function, and if I run the code, I should get all the data frames or all the tables that are on that web page. So I can say DFS and control enter. You can see it's giving me a list of data frames. It's giving me a list of lots of data frames. And if we print the length of this DFS variable or the list, it will tell us how many tables are on that web page. So if I run it, you can see it's telling us that that web page has 13 tables. And if I come back here, I can only see two, one right here, the other one right here. But this function automatically detected 13 tables. So it's pretty useful, and it's pretty easy to get all the tables. And now let's see how we can access each and every data frame. So we'll do that by indexing. As we are getting a list of data frames, we can access individual data frame by indexing the list. So I can say DFS 0. Let's see what's at the index 0. If I run it, you can see this is the table that's at the index 0. And I think this is this one. Yes, it's this table. And if we come back here and see what's at index 1, you can see this is the table that we were looking for, and it's at the index 1. Let's also see what's at the index 2. If I run it, so you can see we have one more table. Yeah, that's how we can access all the tables from a web page. We already got what we were looking for, which is at the index 1. This is that table. But if you don't want to rely on the indexing, there's a better way of doing this. There's a better way of finding the exact same table that you are looking for. All you need to do is create an array of all the columns of that table. So these are the columns, this type, mutability, description, syntax. Just go ahead and create a list of all these columns. Then we are going to loop through all these data frames and check if a data frame has the columns that we are actually looking for. So let me show you how to do that. So I'll say for df in DFS. So we are looping through all the data frames. Then we are going to set a condition. So I'll say if pd.series. So we are creating a one-dimensional array out of all those columns. So let's create a list of all these columns just like this and paste it inside here. And then I'll say dot is in. So I'm checking if all these column names are in where df.columns. This df.columns will give me all the columns in a data frame. I'm checking if each and every column, for example, the column at index 0 is equal to type, index 1 is equal to mutability, index 2 is equal to description, index 3 is equal to syntax type. This is what I'm doing in this line here. And then I'll simply say dot all, and if that condition matches, I'll come here first and I'll define my underscore df. This is the data frame that I'm looking for. I'm first going to set it equal to none, and right here, if our condition matches, I'll say my underscore df equals to df, and we will break out of the loop. And finally, we can print out my underscore df, and let's see if it works. So if I say control enter, you can see we are getting the data frame that I am looking for. And if I change single value here, so the condition now won't match and we shouldn't get anything. As you can see, we are not getting anything. So if I again type in the correct column name and run the code, you can see we are getting the data frame that we wanted. The table is the exact same table that we were looking for. What I did here is I created a list of all the columns that were on this web page. So these are all the columns. And then I passed that list to this pd.series function. And then I'm checking if all these columns are exactly the columns that a data frame has. And then I am setting my underscore df equal to that data frame because that condition satisfied. And if that condition is satisfied, I'm breaking out of the loop. And then finally, I'm printing my data frame. So this is how you can scrape tables from a web page without using any web scraping libraries. You can do this in Pandas as well. So if that's what you are looking for, if you only want to scrape tables, this is how you can do it. But it has its drawbacks as well. You cannot interact with the web page. For that, you will need Selenium, of course. You can also do interaction with requests by sending requests and all that. But right here, you can only read tables and do nothing more. So this is the drawback of using this method. But if you only want table data, then this is the best way out there that you can scrape table data from a web page. So I hope you learned something new from this video. Give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions, you can comment down below, and do subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, peace out.